This lesson will teach you how to deal with difficult people without feeling angry or betrayal. Welcome back, friends. Thanks for your support, and let's get going with lesson 6. Does the clouds ever die even in the rain? This lesson will teach you how to deal with difficult people without feeling angry or betrayal. Storied. Why do we want our students to see your donor's name every day on the wall of their schools? A local BASF partner on the school in Nghệ An province challenged our request to have our donor's name on the dedicated plaque. Because A, that's how we show appreciation to our donors, and we promised. And B, you agreed to it when you submitted a signed application for our funding. We responded with a document dated January 2020 by the same person. We will not subject our students to feel inferior or being reminded of your donation to construct their school. The partner retaliated with a stern rejection that we could picture smoke coming out of his ears, nose, and any parts in between on his face. Then you just betrayed our trust in you, your team, and probably all the young people who manage unofficial charities in Vietnam, who make pies in the skies empty promises to get our donations, then flip-flop two-faced after construction. I calmly sent back a reply. The clouds will never die, but you have darkened the blue skies and rained on our parade of this budding relationship. This was an end of many once-and-done collaborations in our realization of doing charities in Vietnam. Not so much of disappointment in being betrayed, but why we entrusted our faith in people who didn't share our values and beliefs. The simple signs of dedicated plaques on the wall of the school or by the side of the local bridge that bears our foundation's logo and donors' names never intended to make us feeling superior or degrading our students or villagers who inherited our contributions. To us, it signifies a promise we make to our donors in exchange for their generous gifts to someone they might never know, in some places they might never visit. This is the Leave a Legacy uniqueness of every Build a School Foundation's project. We want to offer our stakeholders a chance to leave behind a legacy long after they physically expired. The hardest part for us was to differentiate a few bad apples from a wagon of healthy fruits. Would we let a caterpillar ruin the pot of vegetable soup at the saying in Vietnam, con sâu làm rầu nồi canh? Or we dig deeper into our core belief, to our cause of service, and to our consciousness of forgiveness. In the end, learning to keep the clouds of compassion floating above our hatreds of selves and others was the reason we could go on for 2,555 days and realize the Vision 100 for the children that we wanted to serve. Tutorial. When I was a college student at UCSD, University of California in San Diego, I was at the lost intersection with the unknown future after graduation and the quandary presence of college lives at the lonely teen trekking in the dark tunnel with no light in sight. One day, my parents shared that our local Buddhist Vạn Hạnh temple invited the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh and organized a Dharma retreat on campus. So I went with absolute no idea of what I would get out of it. And somehow he thought the cloud never dies, went straight over my ignorant head full of triple derivatives, differential equations, quantum mechanics, and more mumbo-jumbo engineering hot pot that decades later I found out wasn't very useful in contributing to one's happiness or his quest to seek fulfillment. Who cares if whether clouds drip in the sky when my nose glues to the help wanted newspaper in searching for entry-level electrical engineering accepted here. Years passed and decades elapsed, and my professional career got bigger as I climbed higher on the career ladder and heavier backpack with responsibilities on my shoulders. The cloud no longer even existed in my consciousness. Not until I experienced the losses of my mother, then my father's 6 years later, that I started to see the clouds differently. Its shapes, form, state of physical being may be converted into white cloud, darker clouds, rain, hail, snow, ice, water, moisture, mist, fog, vapor, haze, or steam, as thin air, running water, or dangerous icicle. The cloud never really dies. And so was my parents. They lost their physical beings in our physical world, but their DNAs, cultures, stories, and contributions live on in our siblings and their children. The lesson for you, readers, is to master your perceptions and feelings so you don't walk away from the purpose and mission when things don't go your way or as you anticipated. Keep in mind the clouds of compassion in you will change for better or worse. But if you can see its true selves under any taken shape or converted stage, you will be in control of the clouds instead of the other way around. Action. Again, please find a quiet place with a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, then you can answer these questions. How do you deal with collaborators who went back on their words or their promise? How do you tell the donors or sponsors of some things you can't deliver because someone else negated their promise to you? How would you handle betrayal? To get even? To take a higher road? Or let it be? Have you ever betrayed someone? How did you feel about it? Is it better to betray someone or someone betrays you? Reflection. As we recounted more stories and relived again some experiences, we circle back to the life is impermanent quote of Buddha. Not only when we anticipate people would change, we would be more prepared to deal with troubles, challenges that arise from unexpected changes. Changes only difficult to deal with when we are so ill-prepared to deal with them. When we learn to anticipate and prepare to handle changes, then nothing can rain our parade because we know the cloud just touched us in a different form. Thank you, friends, for listening, and we can wait to see you in lesson number 7. Happy ending doesn't mean happily ever after. Goodbye for now.